So hello guys, so in this video I'll be giving you a tutorial how to complete the task 3.1p. So which was to integrate the IFTTT and send a notification to ourselves via an email after our light sensor detects whether the sunlight is on or sunlight is off, and we will receive an email to whether the light has started or the light has stopped. So first of all, let's talk about the task requirements. The task requirements were pretty simple. These lights, we have to create an embedded system using not nothing much but an Arduino and a light sensor. And this light sensor BH1750 module will detect whether the sunlight has started or sunlight is there or the sunlight has stopped. So it how it will detect, it will just measure the lux, and we have just defined the thresholds of the lux as we were in the room setting. And to test our embedded system, we defined our threshold to around 100 above if the sunlight has started and 50 below if the sunlight has stopped. So first of all, I have talked about the task requirements. So let's see other devices that we will be using. As I've already told you, the VH1750 sensor and there's Arduino Nano 33 IoT. So let's talk about the code. What was the code? This is the code of the task 3.1p. So let's talk about it. So first, in the upper section, we have just given the pretty basic commands of Adafruit IO user and Adafruit IO key. These are the you know credentials which are required to log in into a Adafruit IO feed, which we have created, which I will be discussing further, how to create an Adafruit IO feed, what is IFTTT, and how they connect each other and send message to ourselves. But this is a code, just a basic explanation, not line by line. This upper part just defines the Adafruit IO credentials and the ports and these passwords, everything which are given to us in the Adafruit IO. This, as I've already told you about the lux, which is the starting lux and the stop lux. You can see I've defined it here. This segment of code will connect us to the Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi that we have defined here. And this is the code which will send our, which will send the commands to the feed, whether the start lux is there or stopping lux is there. It will send this to our feed. And the criteria to measure that is, I have told you here. It will connect to the Wi-Fi. It will, and after connecting to Wi-Fi, it will just read the light level in the initial stage, and after it has connected, it will send the first initial step whether the sunlight has started. After first it connects to the Wi-Fi and our light sensor starts to work, it will just measure what's the lux, and it will just initially tell if the sunlight is there or sunlight has stopped. So it will just continue in a loop, and if the light is on, or I think if it is above the starting threshold or the light threshold, it will just send the feed that the sunlight has started or sun start lux has been there, or it just turns stop this. So this is the just a basic explanation of code. So let's talk about what is IFTTT. IFTTT is a know website, or I would say it's just a protocol, or I forgot the word, but what is. So it is just a protocol, a website, which connects or use webhooks, and it creates a different applets. And what are applets? Let's talk about it. Applets are segments which connect which connect different things such as the webhooks or the Adafruit IO, and it just detects here if, and then it just gives us the email. So first talk about Adafruit IO. Adafruit IO is the feed or a way which we can give the commands, and it monitors the lux rate, or it monitors whether the sunlight has started or not, which our code gives. It gives it directly, and it's a way that it keeps the data here, and it synchronizes the data live. and these are the connections. You have seen that I run this feed, and it was my last Sun starter, which was above 100. So it is a feed that just monitors the data. And here, yes. So this is the IF triple T. It will read, or it will just monitor the Adafruit IO feed. And the reason why I have not used webhooks in this is pretty simple, because the webhooks is available to only pro users, and as I don't have a pro version, so I've used this Adafruit IO feed. The IF triple T will read the data from Adafruit IO, and it will just send the message accordingly. So we have created two applets. One is for the starting lux, and other is for the stopping lux. What is the starting lux and stopping lux? I have told you. We have defined the thresholds, and according to that, it will just give us the emails, or it will just read the and do the work accordingly. So this is applet which I have created, I guess, for starting lux. Yes, it's for starting lux. So you can see that if any new data it recognizes which is for the starting lux, and it is below above 100, it will just sense from the Adafruit IO, that sun start lux, like you have seen. It will just read every sun start lux, at what time it occurred and at what time it was going, and it will send us an email to us. Like you can see, sunlight has started and everything. Similarly, I've created for the stopping lux also, which is this applet. These are the two applets, and this is the second applet which I've created for stopping lux. It will sense every stopping lux from the Adafruit IO, and read every stopping lux, and then send us the email that the sunlight has stopped. So starting lux is the for sunlight has started, and we will receive an email that sunlight has started. And for stopping lux, we will receive an email that the light has stopped. So yes. So in this, I have just told you basic, and now let's integrate. Like I will teach you how you can create your own applet and how you can read the data from here. First of all, we will create a feed. From here, you can create a feed. I have seen, like, yeah, you have seen it. From here you can create a new feed, and from here you can see that I've created two feeds: terrarium events and terrarium lux. The terrarium lux feed will just recognize what lux is coming and what's the data. And the terrarium events are the events like sun start. Sun start is an event for 121 lux, and sun stop is an event which will be below 50 lux. So these are the events that the terrarium events will track, or are Arduino code, Arduino ID will send directly to Terrarium events whether the sunlight has started and stopped, and further that the event will go as a trigger to IFTTT applet, which it will read, and that trigger, after reading that trigger, it will determine if the sunlight has started, then sun has started email, and if it has stopped, then it is sunlight has stopped email. So you how this is you how you can create a feed in Adafruit IO in order to sense and to take readings from Arduino ID, with an Arduino ID which the light sensor has gathered. Arduino ID will send it to here. Uh, so this is our next step, which will create an applet. We can create an applet in a very simple way. If this means it will read, if it has read the data from Adafruit IO, like we can create Adafruit IO. So we can add new data, and it will just sense my account. You have to account. So we will add here Terrarium events, which we will through which it will scan the events. So we will just create a trigger. It will create a trigger, and then that it means we have to send. If it has sensed, then it will send us an email. So I will send us an email. We create an email and send me an email, and here you can keep the subject and your body according to your wish. Let's leave it. So finally, let's talk about the connection or the system working. So in this, we will connect to the pins, as you can see in the camera. We will connect the VCC pin to 5 volt in Arduino Nano 33 IoT, and GND pin to the GND pin uh, separately. And the this SCL pin and SDA pin we will connect it to A5 and A4 respectively. So These are whole tasks, and if you want to see what's the demonstration or how this task just works as a whole, what's the working of the system, I will also provide a link in the task 3.2c file. So from here, where we can see how this demonstration is being working, or how this system works as a whole. In this video, I gave you a tutorial how this system works, and how you can start, and how you can initial, and what are the basics of the system. I have told you all. So thank you.